Welcome, everybody. I'm JD.
And I'm Gail.
And you're tuned into the Sneakee Bastards. We have a great show for you today on, August 29th, 2024. Here's a little bit in the news. And the first thing I want to talk about is hopefully we won't have any glitches on this show here. We redid the BIG studios here in the BIG building, the 13th floor of the BIG building. We completely redid the studio. I'll try to throw some pictures up there of what we've done, but we brought in some new equipment. We got in a new hard drive that's really going to help us out to be able to bring better shows to you. So, yeah, it was a rough day yesterday. Me and the gang, we spent hours and hours redoing everything, unplugging everything, and then trying to get all the programs back up and running. We're still having a few glitches, but hopefully we'll get through the show. But I just wanted to share that to you, that if anything happens, it'll be fixed shortly. So how's your day going, Gail?
I'm good so far.
Everything good for a Thursday, huh?
Yeah, for Thursday.
Okay, well, we'll try to dig some news up, but before we get to the news and what's happening in the day, it is a day in history.
Yes. In 1949, August 29th, the Soviet Union detonated its first atomic bomb, clearly raising up the level of the Cold War. This day in 1958, Michael Jackson was born.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And in 2005, on this day, Hurricane Katrina slammed into the Gulf Coast.
Oh, man, and wasn't that a mess?
Man, you talk about a mess, yeah.
Phew. They're still trying to recover from that.
Yeah.
Hurricane can mess things up. And speaking of hurricanes, it looks like Hurricane Harris is upon us.
Yeah.
She started off the bus tour today, or it might have been yesterday in Georgia. Nice, big, beautiful bus they're riding. I'm a little saddened that it's not electric.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a tight race. But there is going to be I guess she's given her first interview to ABC News tonight.
Yes.
That'd be interesting.
It's not going to be live. It's going to be recorded.
They're going to tape it and then edit it so it sounds good. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Well then, we'll see what happens. I hope she can explain her standing on the issues. I noticed that she's gone a lot more towards the policies that Trump is advocating. And I'm afraid, if she borrows any more of Trump's policy ideas, he might ask her to join his team.
Yeah, there you go.
But another thing I noticed that's happening.
Every circus needs a clown, right?
And what's funny is even if you change the clown, you're still left with the circus.
Yeah.
So, and I love how they're trying to run on, this is a new beginning, new hope, and, new joy. And, it's like she hasn't been around for 3.5 years. They're going after their own administration. It's just a really weird campaign. I really don't understand much of it, but we'll find out. But we do know that in about 12 days, she's going to be doing a debate against Trump.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, her interview is with CNN, right? Yeah, she's going to be interviewing with CNN tonight. But they'll be in front of an ABC studio and ABC moderators during the debate. So seeing her live might make a big difference.
Yeah.
Oh, another thing I wanted to bring up. I'm pretty active on X.com, formerly known as Twitter. And it's nothing but, everybody's for Harris. And what they're really pushing is how many Republicans are going towards Harris. How many Republicans are saying they're now going to vote for Harris? Big Republicans, people in Trump's former administration. A lot of them are announcing that they're going for Harris. And what that brought to mind is, I think what's happening is, it used to be we used to call the Republicans and the Democrats like a uniparty. It's like the Republicans always went with the Democrats. They always, it was just commingled, and it was like everybody's getting really pissed at the Republicans. Well, now it looks like all those rhinos are finally going over to the Democratic Party. So it looks like the uniparty is finally coalescing into the Democratic Party. And then so now you're going to have the Democratic Party plus a new Republican Party and all of the other third parties. I think we might be seeing more third parties coming into the mix over the next couple of elections, since it looks like the uniparty is now coalescing into the Democrats. It's really kind of unique in my view.
I think it's just they're just trying to confuse people, and it's still going to wind up being the conglomerate coalition, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, they are now the party of the big money. Big money's just pouring into the Democratic coffers. So,
well, that's a lie that I woke up to years ago. Oh, those rich Republicans. Let's see, Bezos. No, he's not a Republican. Buffett. No, he's not a Republican.
Elon, he wasn't a Republican.
He's not. He's a conservative Democrat. I tell you that.
Yeah, but it looks like all
people in the world are Democrats. They're not Republicans.
Oh, and speaking of that, I guess Tim Walz, the VP candidate, he met with Alex Soros the other day, and we all know about his dad, George.
Yeah.
That fine, upstanding gentleman. So yeah, the Democrats are now the party of big money, whereas it looks like the Republicans now are the party of the working class. Because we even noticed that, since we know that most of the unions are throwing their vote for Harris, a lot of the union members are throwing their votes towards Trump. So it's weird how, again, the parties are transforming. And I kind of like it, where all the rhinos are finally going over to where they should be, over on the Democratic side. So I do congratulate Harris for getting all the progressives out of the Republican Party, and maybe they can finally get their act together, especially since RFK Jr. is endorsing Trump. This shows more unity, I believe, than all those rhinos going over to Harris. So it's going to be interesting next couple of years. But we have to make it to the election first, and the economy is not as good as what everybody is saying. The economy is really on a tipping point right now.
Oh wow, it's unbelievable. This stuff they're playing around with, the interest rates and stuff, is really messing things up. Really messing things up.
And the new taxes that they want to throw up too.
Yeah, well, the housing market's collapsing. The business, corporate and business real estate is just totally crushed. I mean, I saw, what was it, $150 million building sold for $3 million or something like that?
Yeah, it's amazing. Commercial real estate's really going to take a pounding here, and the banks are really nervous,
Yeah, because they're holding hundreds of billions of dollars of loans.
Yeah. What are they going to be stuck with? Empty buildings. Nobody's filling the office buildings up. Matter of fact, a lot of companies are laying people off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's going to continue to happen. And matter of fact, the fast food industry in California is in shambles because of their $20 an hour.
Yeah.
Mandatory minimum wage now, and it's affecting corporate numbers everywhere. Just it's nuts out there. The economy is.
Lowe's and Home Depot both said that their numbers are going to be down because people don't have money for home improvements.
Yeah. They're money's going towards rent and food.
Yeah.
And when all the taxes of the government, federal, state, local taxes, you put all that together and they're taking 50% of your paycheck every week. The government is 50%. And what are you getting out of it? What do you get in return for that? Half of that paycheck they steal from you every week.
Well, I'll tell you what you get. Press 1 for English.
What else is happening on this day?
No, we got that hurricane that is out there in Hawaii messing it up. There's a typhoon there in Japan that's dumping, like, I don't know, 25, 30 inches of rain. It's had winds up as high as 157 miles an hour.
Yeah,
They've only got half a dozen people that are dead.
A lot of flooding going on around the world.
Yeah.
But there's a news article that came out just earlier this week where scientists are baffled that the Atlantic Ocean is cooling at such a high rate. Now, I don't know, but since we're broadcasting here from Central Florida, I've lived almost my whole life here in Central Florida. It's been kind of quiet on the hurricane season this year. Is it because the ocean is cooling?
The cooling part is coming farther south. And what happens is all our hurricanes and stuff, like, a lot of that has to do with the powder sand and stuff that comes off the Sahara Desert that goes up in the atmosphere has a lot to do with creating hurricanes. And because the temperatures are a little bit lower, coming a little bit farther south, it's pushing all the hurricanes right straight across the Atlantic towards South America.
I don't mind that a bit.
It works for me.
We're still getting a little, enough rain down here, but I can do without the hurricanes. Even though it's nice to have a hurricane party every once in a while, and you have to hunker down. That's a term we use here in the South, hunkering down when a hurricane comes. You got to do that. All right, folks. Well, it's been a pretty good show, and it looks like we haven't had any issues. You got something else you want to bring up?
Well, we were talking about silver the other day. It's still bouncing right around $30, $29.53. Bitcoin's at 60,100. Ethereum's still about 25.53. It's just sideways with everything in the economy right now, because nobody knows what's going to happen to the election. Everybody's worried about the job market and the housing market.
Yep.
So everybody's just putting things on hold, and the more people put on hold, they buy less stuff, which puts poor people out of work.
Oh, yeah, and I read a quick article where Warren Buffett has sold some more shares of Bank of America.
Yes.
So, he's getting his cash reserves up. He must know something that the rest of us don't know yet. So I guess we'll see shortly. Yeah, so just hang on to the economy. And there are rumors about something happening on October 7th. I'm going to look this up, and we'll do this tomorrow. But there's apparently somebody did an interview with a sheriff who has some inside information about what the FBI and local and federal authorities, they're afraid of some terrorist acts might be happening. So I don't know a bunch about it. I'll try to read up on it. It could be just garbage news, but we'll find out. That's what we try to do here in the Sneakee Bastards, is bring you relevant information and views that you might not have thought of.
Yeah.
Because it's what we do, right?
It's kind of what we do.
All right. And we'll do it again tomorrow morning. We're glad you tuned in. We appreciate it. If you could like and supply, that'd be good. Like, comment, share. We'd appreciate that. And if you have any comments, any shows you want us to do, if you have any thoughts on what our thoughts are, leave them. I'd appreciate it. Would you?
Yeah, definitely. Give us some ideas.
Sounds good. Well, thanks, everybody.
I love conspiracies.
Yeah, we might start doing some more shows on conspiracies. We'll see how far we can go, on YouTube here. We'll see what happens. We're going to have some fun.
even non-political ones.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, everybody. I'm JD.
And I'm Gail.
And thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon. Appreciate it.